Hello, welcome to a presentation by me, Amy VanLiew from Be Healthy Enough, where my mission in life is to help women over 50 get moving and feel better, even as those darn aches and pains of age start to creep in. Today, what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to go old school, is joint pain and digging into arthritis. Are you ready? I'm going to head over to my computer. Hello, it's Amy. I'm interrupting this special presentation on arthritis and joint pain to get you moving and feeling better, even as those aches and pains of age start to creep in. I'm turning this presentation into what I call a walk and learn. So you're going to be learning with me, but you're also going to be moving with me. Throughout the presentation, I'm going to come in audio just to say, first we'll warm up and then we're going to walk faster or walk slower. Then we'll be doing interval training throughout this entire presentation. You don't have to be out on a walk with me. You can be standing in front of your computer or holding your phone or on your elliptical treadmill, whatever. Just try to move as much as you can because we sit too much as it is already. And I want you to learn, but I don't want you to sit. So get up, get moving, feeling better, and I hope you enjoy this presentation and this walk. Start walking at a warm-up pace. Me in a second with my slides. I am a recovering engineer. I was in the corporate world for 26 years, and so PowerPoint presentations are so much my go-to because I had to do them so often. And plus it gets to be a chance to share some things visually with you that I can't by just talking. All right. First and foremost, why are we here? We are here because, and in fact, you're going to see this little thing here, an exclusive Be Healthy Enough member event. I felt that this topic was so important that I'm refilming this. We did a live Zoom call where we were very interactive and asking questions and things like that. But this topic is so important, and I want to share everything that I learned, trying to culminate all the learnings that I got from my Arthritis Fitness Specialist into a short presentation for you. So maybe you could think, oh, maybe that's it. Maybe this is how I need to go talk to my doctor. And arthritis is very near and dear to my heart, and I'll share with you in a minute as to why. So today we're going to talk about, I think I have another slide about what we're going to talk about. Oh, first I'm going to talk about why this is so important to me. This is my mother-in-law, Amy VanLiew, in 2004, and she was quite crippled at this age. We lost her in 2007, so she was only in her late 60s, only about maybe 5 or 6 years older than me now, which just, when I think about that, I just said that out loud, it blows me away. But look at her poor hands. She had rheumatoid arthritis, got diagnosed with that in her early 30s, maybe mid 30s. And back then they didn't have a lot of treatment, and her body, it was just a slow decline into pain, immobility, and ultimately, death, her demise. So, I've seen the arthritis impact. I am passionate about helping women move pain-free. People ask, you go around, you say, what would your superpower be? Mine is taking away people's pain. I wish so much that I could do that because I've seen it happen. My husband doesn't have arthritis, but he's got gout and joint pain. He doesn't have rheumatoid arthritis, but he's got other arthritis. It definitely is genetic. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's a great segue. Let's talk about what arthritis really is. Most people think that arthritis is joint pain. And yeah, it does mean joint pain, but it is so much more complex than that. It's actually inflammation of the joint. We have got over 100, and I'm sure they'll find more now, different types of arthritis, but some of them are more common over 50. And don't let the doctor say it's just wear and tear. 1 in 4 adults in the U.S. have doctor-diagnosed arthritis, but you've got to push them to dig deep into getting to the root cause. Yes, wear and tear can be some form of arthritis, osteoarthritis, but it also can be a function of your immune system. Early detection and lifestyle changes can make a huge difference. I've seen it in my husband. But before I go on, disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. I hear that from someone I follow on YouTube. Gentle reminder, everything that I'm sharing in this webinar is based on general movements of pattern movements commonly experienced by women over 50. Always consult your doctor or healthcare provider before trying anything or listening to anything that I have to say. What my goal here is to aim you with knowledge, so maybe you can have a better, more detailed conversation with your doctor. Your safety always comes first in my book. Ready for a speed interval? Kick it up a notch for just 2 minutes. Let's talk about the types of arthritis. I'm going to kind of go through this as quick as I can, reading through my notes as I do that. The most common is osteoarthritis. You'll see this as degenerative arthritis. It's when the cartilage, that slick cushioning surface at the end of the bones wears away. This can be caused by overuse, wear and tear. It can cause swelling, pain, and stiffness. You can lose strength over time in that joint, and the pain may become chronic if you're not careful. Risk factors include excess weight, family history, age, and any previous injuries. Okay. Let's see, what's the next slide? The next one is rheumatoid arthritis. This one, in our bodies, a healthy person, in our immune system, it fights invaders such as bacteria and viruses. With an autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, the immune system mistakes the body's cells for foreign invaders and releases inflammatory chemicals that attack it. So our body's actually attacking itself. The tissue and the lining around the joint produces fluid to help protect and move the joint smoothly. When it gets inflamed, this fluid becomes thicker and makes the joints feel just awful, hotter, tender, swollen, red. And then you get trouble moving those joints. The symptoms or clues to arthritis is joint pain, tenderness, swelling, stiffness that lasts longer than 6 weeks, okay? Morning stiffness, let me see, I missed my notes. Morning stiffness that lasts longer than 30 minutes. You know, sometimes a lot of us wake up and we're a little stiff. If it doesn't go away with movements, it's like, I better get checked out by that. Let's recover. Just go at a comfortable pace. Affecting more than one joint. Sometimes you'll have knees. I have osteoarthritis, I believe. I have not been officially diagnosed, self-diagnosed in my knee. The other knee doesn't hurt. Rheumatoid arthritis starts to attack the small joints first, the wrists, the hands, the feet, and typically you're going to have it on both sides. So most people with rheumatoid arthritis will see it in both hands or both elbows or both wrists or both feet. That's definitely very common. Another one is gout. I have something here on gout. Gout causes, oh my God, gout is painful. My husband got gout. He had the first bout of it in his early 20s, which was a big sign that he had arthritis in his genes, and we kind of knew that. And his lifestyle was not very good back then. But typically it starts in the big toe, but it can affect other joints, knee, ankle. He's had it in his hands. It is the most common type of inflammatory arthritis. Men are 3 times more likely than women to develop it, although women get it. Typically men at over 40 and postmenopausal women, and signs and symptoms almost always occur suddenly overnight. Intense pain, like you can't move pain, and you can't want anything to touch it pain. And not even the sheets. He didn't even want the sheets on him. And it's most likely to be really severe within the first 4 to 12 hours after it begins. You can have lingering discomfort, but the inflammation and the redness will start to disintegrate or go away after a few days or a few weeks. You will get limited range of motion, of course, because it hurts like a mother to move those joints that are affected. It's what happens is you get a buildup of uric acid, and that can be your body's natural uric acid, or it can actually be, oops, sorry, I went too quickly, be your body's natural or the foods that you eat. That was my husband's. Both. That was a double whammy. Let's go to the next common is psoriatic arthritis. You see a lot of ads on TV like golf, if you're watching the Golf Channel or golf sporting events, you'll see a lot of psoriatic arthritis. It's a type of arthritis that it primarily affects the skin and the joints. You've heard of psoriasis. It's the same, it's similar. It's in the same family. Usually develops after they 30. Psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis both can run in the families. It's more common, interesting enough, in Caucasians than other races or ethnicities. It can come up in childhood, but typically it's starts with skin. The skin is itchy, painful red. You might have silvery white buildup of dead cells. Then it can attack the joints in the fingers, joints closest to the nails, wrists, ankles, knees. Symptoms such as pain, same sort of symptoms. They're all similar, which can be hard to diagnose, and you need blood work and digging into the root cause, and pain and stiffness. And again, all of these, they do have a lot of medications out now that can help. Speed, interval time. Least common are, did you know lupus was a form of arthritis, and axial spondylitis, and septic arthritis, which can happen if you get the septic virus or bacteria. I think it's a bacteria. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Moving right along here. Why does arthritis become so common as we age? Usually because of these 6 things that come along with age. The first one is wear and tear. Yes, hopefully you've had a lot of fun in your life. You've done that hiking and that paddle boarding, and you got hurt and you did things that hurt your joints and your knees. Wear and tear is very common. It happens with age. The other thing is metabolic shifts. Things that we're getting fatter, we're getting lazier, we're getting more insulin resistance. Those are metabolic shifts. Infections can happen later in life. They can happen all through their life, but it can be an and function if we get more and more and more. Autoimmune diseases that we get or that are more common after 50, old injuries. You hurt your ankle, you could be more likely to get osteoarthritis in that ankle. And then genetics, as I said, all of this can run in your family. Let's recover. Just go at a comfortable pace. Why does it show up after 50? Like I said, common wears and tears in the joints. I'm going to go through this quickly because I sort of just summarized this all together, but these are just a little bit digging in more about it. Cartilage does break down, bones rub on bones, pain, swelling, stiffness, and limited motion are definitely the symptoms for this. Inflammation can start within from those metabolic abnormalities that I talked about. These actually disrupt your chemical reactions in your body that link to things like diabetes, that's a metabolic syndrome, obesity, that's all a part of a metabolic syndrome. They can lead to rheumatoid arthritis, and also not just joint pain, but risks of heart disease too. They're all of these are all interrelated. So it's important to really think about our whole system and how it all works together. Bacteria, infections, fungal, these can all trigger joint inflammation. These are usually clearable if you catch them early. Common signs can be fever, sudden joint swelling, illness history. Another one is the common cause number 4 is autoimmune disease. I'm sorry I'm getting interrupted. Someone's texting me. I apologize for that if I sound a little interrupted. Oh, those darn, I put it on mute, but rheumatoid arthritis is the most common one. They attack the system, the joint lining. It's like your body attacks itself, and it can affect, oops, I went too fast. It can affect the whole body: skin, psoriatic arthritis, lungs, eyes, heart. My mother-in-law passed away from congenital heart disease. That's not the right word. Sorry about that. Congestive heart failure. That's what it was. The heart muscle was actually attacked by the rheumatoid arthritis, along with her body's inability to move anymore. She just couldn't get the blood flow because she wasn't moving, so her heart just slowed down and gave up. Cause number 5, a past injury or trauma definitely is linked to higher forms and risks of arthritis, common in knees, ankles, hips, those things that we injure, elbows, wrists. Last one, same thing, pain, swelling, fluid build up. And then the last one is genetics. I loved this saying in that, yes, genetics play a role, but genes load the gun. So we're likely to get it, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. Even though it is especially common if it runs in our family, so we might get rheumatoid arthritis or gout or knee osteoarthritis. It increases our susceptibility, but it's not our destiny. Speed interval time. How is arthritis diagnosed? Please, if your doctor says the pain is in your head, please find another doctor. Oh, that just makes me so angry. So pain is real. Yes, there are some things that we have to deal with as we get older, but it doesn't mean you give up altogether. So your doctor's going to do a history, physical exam, ask any questions about stiffness, pain. Be as super detailed as you can. My husband and I just went to the doctor for his back pain, and he was brushing over some things. He was trying to make it not look so bad with the doctor. But I jumped in and said, these are the things I noticed you say, Ed. He was like, oh yeah. So he was really grateful that I pointed out some things, because the doctors don't know that you get stiff when you wake up and it goes away. They don't know that if you lie on your side, it doesn't hurt, but when you move your hip this way, it hurts, things like that. They'll do x-rays or MRIs to see if they can see joint damage or loss of cartilage. They're going to do blood tests, hopefully, especially looking for, they can see things like rheumatoid arthritis or inflammation markers. I've been having some joint pain recently, and I'm getting a test for some of the inflammatory markers. I'll try to put the link down below of the test that I'm getting. I'm doing it on my own because my doctor won't pay for it, so you may want to think about that one. Joint fluid, they may pull some fluid from your joints to look for infections or gout. Although with my husband, they never pulled any fluid out. It was pretty self-diagnosed. Let's recover. Just go at a comfortable pace. When should you get checked? This is a good one. Joint pain lasts longer than 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, that's a signal that it's time to say, I need to talk to my doctor. Swelling, warmth, or visible joint changes. With arthritis, sometimes you're going to see your joints get bigger, and that can be a time, let's go chat to the doctor about that. Morning stiffness, that stiffness that lasts more than 30 minutes. Fatigue or flu-like symptoms, that could be a sign of rheumatoid arthritis. And if it's interfering with your daily life, don't say, I'm just getting old. Why? That's just the fact of life. No, there are things that you can do to make yourself feel better. I promise. What they might recommend, this is the first line of defense, is medications like Tylenol or Advil or ibuprofen, or prescription anti-inflammatories. My husband gets one for his gout called Indocin. It's pretty intense, but it knocks down that pain pretty quickly. And all of those have side effects, by the way. Injections, cortisone, hyaluronic acid for pain relief. All of these do have some side effects too. You want to be careful about these, but I have heard great results. Physical therapy. This is one of my favorites. If your doctor says you want to do some physical therapy, say yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. It is so invaluable to have them give you movements for you and they can dig in. I am not a physical therapist, but I like to play one in my videos because I dig deep and I've been trained a lot, especially in the pelvis area. The movement, my husband's shoulder, his back, my knees, my hips, my back, all have seen improvements from movement and specific movement that's going to help support your joint, like strength training all the muscles around there. There are some assistive devices like orthotics or braces or canes. And in severe cases, there is a surgery option, joint replacement, which again, this can be very, very, very helpful. I know a lot of people don't want to do this. I've had several friends have had hip replacements and knee replacements, and I asked what they would do differently, and they said, get it done sooner. Speed interval time. So what actually helps long term? When it comes to feeling better, it's not just masking the pain. Lifestyle is the key. Regular gentle movement, joint-friendly exercise, joint supportive exercises like strength training, stretching, low-impact cardio to get all the synovial fluids in the joints moving without hurting the joints. Anti-inflammatory nutrition, foods. I'm going to talk about foods in a second, a little bit more deep into foods. The quality of them, better sleep, stress management, key. Weight management to reduce the load. If you're here to talk about joint pain, keeping the load off your joints can help. If you're here and wanting to learn about making your bones stronger, a load is better. So there's a balance between not doing enough load, getting too much load. I use a weighted vest to add weight to my body for bone building because my joints are okay when I do that. That's a rabbit hole we'll have to get into another video. And supportive community and mindset. That's where Be Healthy Enough approach really shines. We focus on smarter, doable habits that work with our body, not against it. And we're all building each other up and trying to change that mindset about what it means to age over 50. And we don't give up. We keep trying, but we listen to our body and we give each other advice. We had a group coaching call just a couple days ago, and we were talking about joint pain and arthritis. And one member mentioned that she was taking turmeric and with black pepper and all of this recommended by her doctor. And another member started taking it and seeing great success. I'm having my husband take it, and we're crossing our fingers that he gets some success. But it takes a village, and that's what's great about the Be Healthy Enough community. Let's recover. Just go at a comfortable pace. Exercise. You have what you need if you're a Be Healthy Enough member. Motion is lotion for your joints. So, and I'm stepping into, this is what I shared with the member exclusive. We have a monthly workout calendar, a weekly workout calendar, so you don't have to think about it. I follow my very learned from all of the experts over 50 fitness formula, mixing it up between everything that we need over 50. Strength, balance, posture, recovery is super important, listening to your body. I have a bunch of plans that you can pick. My knee hurts, my shoulder hurts, my back hurts, my foot hurts, etc. And then I've also created a new 7-day jumpstart. If you haven't been exercising for a while, you can just get moving gently and carefully with only 15-minute workouts for 7 days. And then I did create a Get Moving, Feel Better series for knees, low back, shoulders, and elbows. I'm working on hip and low back. Oh no, I got low back, hip, and hands next. But there's a level 1 that can be easy, and those are free for you. I'll put the link in the description below. I mark those free for everybody because I know how important it is. And again, my superpower is to try to take away pain. So I want to give as much away as I can without giving away the farm because I need to support myself in helping you get moving. Last speed interval, make it a good one. We're talked about exercise now. We're going to talk just a little bit, I'm almost done, about inflammation from the inside out. And you can pick two paths. And we know from science, I've experimented on myself and my husband, you can pick the path of inflammation or healing. Inflammation doesn't just happen in the joints, it happens in the guts, the bloodstream, the immune system, and what we eat can either turn into inflammation up or it can bring it down. You don't need a perfect diet though. You don't need to follow a strict plan, but adding a key, I think I have all of these in my notes. Here we go. Fuel or fight. Certain foods calm it. Others make it worse. But adding even small changes can make a huge difference. And my company's called Be Healthy Enough for a reason. I don't like you to get fanatical, but here I'm going to give you some quick little tips to make a little small change this week that could make a big difference in how you feel. Time to cool down. Slow down for a bit. Stop and stretch if you want. Foods that fight inflammation. I want you to think about adding just one of these this week. Berries, leafy greens, broccoli, sweet potatoes. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, yuck, and mackerel, forget about that. I'm not eating sardines or mackerel. Salmon, yes. And the more bones, the more skin, the more fat, the better. Buy the canned fat or salmon because they leave all the bones in there. It's gross, but those bones help with your bones. They've got a lot of calcium, a lot of fatty needs that you need for your joints. Olive oil, we're going to talk about oils in a second. Nuts, seeds, avocados, spices. I talked about turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and then antioxidants, green teas, herbal teas, and plenty of water. I want you to think about eating one of these on your plate each time. Leave me a comment below which one is your favorite. Out of if I had to pick from all of these, berries, I love berries. I like all of these. I talked about salmon. I love all of these. I'm a nut fiend. I love avocados, all the spices. Green tea, I'm not that fond of. I've been trying to do matcha, hiding in it. I love herbal teas, and I'm trying to drink more water. Okay, what's next? Foods that fuel inflammation. Can you guess what these are? I bet you can. Refined sugars, all the fun stuff. That's so sad. I should not label this as that. You have these things, you pay the price. Yes, they can make you happy for 5 minutes when you eat them, but that is not worth it to me. Refined sugar, sugary drinks, white bread, white rice, white pasta, ultra-processed carbs, anything out of a package, processed meats, bacons, lunch meats, fried foods, salami, all that stuff. Excess saturated fats. And I have a list of this in a sec. I think I'm going to share that with you. Corn, soy, the seed oils. Oils are always confusing to me. Always. And too much alcohol, especially beer for gout. Alcohol in general is something I've cut out. I'm 4 months, I want to say sober. I'm 4 months without alcohol. I didn't drink a whole lot, but I know it wasn't serving me well. And the 5-10 minutes of dopamine rush I got when I drank it was not worth how I felt afterwards. So my goal is dry 2025. I'm filming this in May of 2025. And I'm going to do it. And I might keep that way, but I might have some alcohol on special occasions. If you want to follow my journey and follow me on Instagram or social. Okay, do you need more help? This is coming to the end of the line. I'm going to have a link to my inflammation reset. I made this for members. It's just a 2-page quick guide for the foods that fight inflammation, foods that fuel inflammation, and I'll give you a little handout on oils that I did some research on. If you're still confused, you're still having joint pain, you can't figure out what exercise will work for your body, make sure you reach out because I can help. I can help dig deep, and I've got quite a few resources if you're not up for joining the Be Healthy Enough membership. But I offer a free 30-minute consultation, so I'll leave that link below too. But remember, no one size fits all. You don't have to do everything, just the next right thing for you. Everybody's story of joint pain arthritis is very different. It's a combination. What I think the best thing for you is to think of it as an and function. I'm an engineer, so this and that, not if this or that, or this if that. Think of it as an and function, combining medical, getting that doctor's advice, and lifestyle approaches for the best advice. Try lifestyle approaches first. If that doesn't work, of course, talk to your doctor. Progress may be slow. This isn't going to happen overnight. This is going to take some time, so just be patient with yourself. And then thank you so much for joining. I'm going to go back to me if I can find on my slide. Again, I'll leave the links to the resources that I mentioned below. Have to remember my inflammation reset guide, free consultation with me, my free Get Moving Feel Better series. You try the level ones and all of those if you want. And I've got a bunch of other free resources. And again, don't forget, if you like this information, let me know in the comments below. I never know if you like the style of me showing a presentation or just talking on camera. So let me know. And don't forget to subscribe too. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.